And now we want to move on to my favorite segment of the podcast, and which is the My Android Journey story. And like I said, our friend Anna is going to be telling her Android journey story. And so, Anna, you are welcome to Blind Android Users. And now that you are a host, hoorah, you will also be doing this with us whenever you have the time. But for now, you are going to be telling us about that Android journey story of yours. Anna, take us down that memory lane if you can.
Well, I'm very glad to be on this show, and I hope to drop in at least once a month. I'll tell you about my Android journey. It it's quite long. Now, about 10 years ago, I was in the right place and the right time, and I somehow got in on the alpha version of an app that is familiar to iOS users, and the app is called Digit Eyes. And this is an app for taking a picture of product labels, and the app looks up the product, and you can also take a picture of the barcode, and the app will look up the product and give you some information about it. Anyway, this app was going to be designed for iOS and for Android. And so I was one of the alpha testers for this. And at the time, I had a conventional flip phone. I did not have a touchscreen phone at all. And so I learned to use iOS in order to alpha test this app. But I hated iOS. I just couldn't get it. And I don't know if it was because this was my first experience of a touchscreen phone, or if it was just that I didn't get the logic of iOS. It just had too many gestures, and it just, anyway. So I was still alpha testing this product, and then the developers wanted to also make it available to Android, which I don't think ever happened. And so one of the alpha testers said he didn't want to learn another operating system. He was struggling enough with iOS. And so I was chosen to alpha test the Android version. And so I had to learn Android at that point. And this was back in the day when your Android phone had to have a physical keyboard, and it had to have a physical D-pad to arrow around. And I didn't like Android either in the beginning, but after about 3 or 4 weeks, Android clicked for me. And since then, I've been just in love with the operating system. So I started using Android back in 2.0, which was the second version that had accessibility on it. And I've been on board with Android ever since. In the time that I've been using Android, I've had a couple of blogs. One was for back in the old days when Android accessibility was good, but it needed some workarounds to get use out of your phone. So I had a blog about that. So I started a second blog that described the more modern Android, which is a lot more accessible, but I didn't get very far on that blog because I started That Android Show podcast, which talked about all things Android. Another thing I've done is I've written a book. Actually, one is a how-to book, and the other one is a book on commands and settings available through National Braille Press. And so now I'm starting to come back into Android in terms of trying to prepare material, and coming on this podcast is part of that. And so I'm very happy to be here. I really like Android, and I'm happy to share the news about Android.